Don't say my name, don't say my name. When Nelson is around you, he'll say he is with you, but is he playing games? Don't say my name, don't say my name. Hello and welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated show on MTV that should reconsider renaming their show The Love Bunker. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge Season 5 Total Madness Episode 8, and in this episode we learn that Big T's biggest fear is fresh cotton pads. Jordan knows the IQ of the average bear, and we find out that Melissa watches Dr. Phil, or at least Nelson and Angela's episode of Dr. Phil, which, that's smart. You gotta do some research on your competition, you know? Now, we have a lot to cover on in this episode because not only did we have a daily challenge, not only did we have nominations, tribunal interrogations, bar scenes, an elimination, we had a double elimination this episode, so we needed to jump in right where last episode left off, and that was Jenna winning against Tori in the elimination, getting her red skull, and the Holy Trinity is doing some dancing. Ooh, celebratory dancing. From there, we jump right into a confessional with Kyle, so we know he's going to be pertinent throughout this episode, whether it's tribunal, drama, or an elimination style. Then we get some talk from Nelson about making promises, which I wonder if that's going to foreshadow later on in this episode. We get a confessional from Jordan saying he doesn't want to be in this house without Tori, and if he doesn't have a red skull, so he wants to go in ASAP to get his red skull and get that opportunity. And then we have Bananas and Wes talking about how weary they are of Jordan in the house, and they may want to take a shot at him. Now, 10 minutes into this episode, around the 10-minute mark, we're going somewhere. Where are we going? Are we going to the bar? We're going to this week's daily challenge? 10 minutes in? Woo! And this daily challenge, this episode is called Decontamination. And what everybody's gonna have to do, there's gonna be 3 rounds of people running into this set of foam and this room of just complete foam. They have to make their way to the other side of this room to where there's a giant window. They have to look out, and there's these computers flashing these sequence of colors. And once these sequence of colors are gone, you have to memorize them, run back out, and then stack these plates in the sequence of the colors. The quickest male and female to get this done wins into the tribunal, and then they'll pick their third banana to bring into this tribunal with them. And TJ says, hey, we don't have enough people on the men's side that can run my final. We have 3 women that have red skulls. We only have 1 male who has a red skull. So we need to have a double elimination on the men's day. So this tribunal is going to wield unwieldy power. It's going to be so powerful if you make it into this tribunal. So this is pertinent for everybody to run in, get this tribunal win, see if you want to go in or if you want to send in your worst enemies to possibly have 2 shots to take out somebody that you just do not want to run a final against. My thoughts on this Decontamination daily challenge, which I've been looking forward to this daily challenge since the super trailer, because this has been a huge question mark to me. I have no idea what to expect when I saw them running into this room. Was this a maze? Was this something else? And now we got it, and I actually really enjoyed this daily challenge. I thought this was fun. From the past daily challenges, from the past couple of episodes, the eliminations, they've just been so heavy. They've been so high production, high budget type of action scenes. And I thought this was fun to have a fun, quirky type of daily challenge that just showed off people having fun, doing their thing, running in, talking about how they sucked up a whole bunch of foam in their mouth right when they ran in, or they were talking about how they got lost in there. I thought this was just a fun one to do. The round 1 winners was Maddie and Wes. The round 2 winners was Fessy and D. And the round 3 winners was Bananas and Big T. And Bananas, everybody had question marks about Bananas because he was just standing there looking directly at this room full of foam. And they're like, what is he doing? Why is he just standing there? Why isn't he running in like everybody else? Come to find out, Bananas was able to find a workaround. He could see the reflections of the lights in machines that were next to the lights that he could see from not having to run inside. So he used that to be able to see the sequence as many times as he needed to. He stacked his colors, won round 3, but it ultimately comes down to whether Maddie or Big T did it the quickest on the women's side, and Bananas and Wes to see who did it the quickest on the men's side. When everybody's times were tallied, it came down that Wes and Maddie did it the quickest, and then they got together to see who they wanted to bring into the tribunal with them. And they only talked for 5 seconds, come out, Wes decides that he's going to say it, and he decides to choose Bananas to join them in the tribunal. Now for Wes to pick Bananas, this is the final nail in the coffin. If them kissing at the nomination ceremony, cuddling on Bear's bed when trying to do the whole like setting it up for Bear and Kayla, if them talking and joking around all the time wasn't a clear sign that they are working together, this is it. This has got to show that everybody, hey, they are working together. They are putting their heads together. And for them two to be in this tribunal this week on a guy's double elimination day, and this is going to be one of the biggest power trips for the two power hungriest people in this game. And I don't know what Maddie was thinking going along with putting Bananas in the tribunal with them, because they could clearly outvote her if it came down to it, whether they wanted to go into the elimination themselves or if they just wanted to throw in whoever they wanted to. So I kind of was like questioning mark why Maddie was just so like, cool, I'm cool to do that, just bring in Bananas. So now we come back to the house from the daily challenge, and that's when Nelson is like regrouping everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean Kayla and Anissa, who he got into fights with in the past couple of days. And he's like, hey guys, I know that it would be easy just to say my name, but I apologize, so you shouldn't say my name. And Anissa and Kayla basically were like, okay, yeah, we'll think about it, but we're probably gonna say your name. So now we go into the nomination ceremony, and they decide that they're going to all pretty much vote Fessy in. And Fessy is cool with it. I mean, he said his speech saying that, hey, I know I have to go in at some point, just know that I'm probably gonna be coming back into the house, so just have that on your all's minds if you're voting for me. And they did. They were like, thank you for letting us know you're gonna go in. So Fessy is the first person nominated to go into the Purgatory, and then the next portion of the nominations gets very, very interesting, to say the least. Bear instantly throws out Nelson's name, Nelson throws out Bear's name. Jordan talks about how he made a deal with Nelson that if Nelson doesn't say his name, he won't say Nelson's name, so Jordan throws out his name. No shocker there. That's when Kyle's like, wait a minute, hold on. He said that to you, he said that to me. And that's when everybody pulls out their receipts from talking to Nelson, and they're like, oh, you said the same exact thing to me? Let me check my receipt too. Oh, it has the same message. Wow, that's crazy. I think that we all want to vote in Nelson in the landslide. And that's what they do. They voted Nelson to the elimination, into Purgatory. So we have Fessy and Nelson going straight into the elimination, and now it's all up to the tribunal to see who they're going to interrogate and who they will decide to go in, if they're gonna go in or if they're gonna throw in somebody else to go up against Nelson and Fessy. But then we go over to the bar scene to get a little drama there, and essentially the whole bar scene was Nelson and Kyle getting into a big old like argument, getting into a big old fight. Producers and everybody had to step in, break them apart. Then we get back to the house, and that's when Big T is feeling good and loose and being a civilized savage the way she is. And that's when she gets up into her bunk bed, jumps down, hits her toe in on the chair. It starts gushing blood. She gets sent to the hospital, comes back. She had 3 stitches in her foot, so I'm glad she is still in this game for now. I don't know if that'll affect her in a coming daily challenge or elimination, or how this will affect her later on in the game, but we'll have to wait and see. So then we get into the tribunal meeting, and this is when Wes, Bananas, and Maddie are trying to figure out which 4 guys that they want to bring in and to interrogate. Wes wants to bring in Kyle, no doubt about it, and Jordan, because why not? If we're not going to go into the elimination, why not send Jordan in? Especially if they know Fessy is going to be in there, why not throw him against somebody like Fessy, who's way bigger than him, and if it's something physical, why not take him out, or try to take him out the best to our ability? Then they decide to bring in Bear, and then because of their past history, Bananas wants to bring in Cory. So they interrogate all of them. Jordan says that he essentially wants to be thrown in. Cory doesn't want to be thrown in just yet, and he's trying to talk to Maddie about, hey, we can be partners together, and then Bananas is like, well, you and I haven't had the greatest history between us, so maybe I should vote you in, but I don't know if I can trust you at this moment. Bear doesn't want to be thrown in at all. He wants to stay. I don't even think he cares about a Red Skull or the money. He just wants to stay with Kayla. And then Kyle is put under the heat lamp of Wes's interrogation. They say it's an intervention because they are tired of carrying him through this game, and Kyle is kind of freaking a little bit. That's when we get over to the Purgatory floor, where everybody instantly knows exactly what game they're going to be playing, as this is a big old bullseye, a big old circle with 2 poles in the middle. And this is a good old-fashioned classic challenge game called the Pole Wrestle, which doesn't bode well for Jordan at all, as he is talking about how he is at a clear disadvantage, but he's always wanted to go into a pole wrestle to see what kind of strategy he may or may not be able to use. So TJ is talking to everybody, brings down Fessy and Nelson as they were voted in by the house, and then he's asking, hey, who wants to go up against Fessy? Bananas and West, do you want to come down? And they're like, heck no, we're not going to go in there. Get out of here, TJ. Look at the size of him. They all three vote in Jordan, and then the votes get a little funny when it comes down to Nelson, as Wes votes in Bear because of what happened in War of the Worlds 2. Bananas votes in Cory because of their history, and it comes down to Maddie, where I thought maybe Maddie would vote in Cory because, hey, maybe Bananas whispered in her ear that, hey, Cory and Nelson are together. Why not put friends against friends? Kind of like what happened in Vendettas against them. But Maddie decides that, hey, she worked with Cory in the daily challenge with Swaggy C. Why not vote in Bear to be sent in against Nelson? The first elimination is between Fessy and Jordan, and this is the quickest round 1 loss I've ever seen Jordan take in his challenge career, as Fessy just instantly pulls this thing out of his hand, no time flat, gets the first point, and now Fessy just needs one more point to win. So going into round 2, that's when Jordan is trying to recalculate his strategy, and he's thinking, okay, well, if I can get Fessy down to the ground, maybe I could use my momentum and a different, way of pulling it out from him if I get down to the ground. Even with that strategy, and they get down to the ground in a second, but then Fessy pulls Jordan up by the bar and picks him up back to his feet just to land on him. And you can just tell when they're trying to reset for round 3, Jordan's shoulder is bummed. He is really having a tough time resetting. He's trying to put his hand up and lift it to grab the bar. It just, you can tell he can't pick it up. He doesn't want to pick it up, and he is in a bad way. And when the next round happens, Fessy instantly pulls it away from him. You can tell Jordan is in pain. He goes to check on the medic. Jordan says to the medic that it is separate from the AC. So Jordan is eliminated. Fessy wins 2-0 quite easily, especially with Jordan being injured. That's when we have second elimination, and this is Nelson versus Bear. And let me tell you right now, Nelson is going to be a tough competitor. He's always been a tough competitor in eliminations. You have a better shot of Nelson being eliminated by his anger, getting into a fight, or purge challenges. Round 1 goes for quite a while, and Nelson is able to pull out the win, and then it gets down to round 2, and Nelson instantly takes it away from Bear. Bear is demoralized. Now, Kayla decides to come down, give Bear a hug, says that after all this is going to happen, she's going to find Bear, they're going to hang out after the show, and then she runs back up. Fessy and Nelson both have a red skull. Fessy is flying high. I don't think anybody else is going to pick Fessy to come down and go into an elimination with him. And Nelson, I could see maybe coming back down to the elimination floor, but he's going to be a difficult person to win against in elimination as per his resume. But that is it for this episode of The Challenge. What did you think about this episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. What did you think about this episode? What did you think about having the original format back? Let me know that in the comment section below. Were you excited to get a daily challenge, drama, nominations, interrogation, and elimination, a double elimination? I thought if we got to the elimination, it was going to be broken up and we were going to see the second team go in next week's episode. False. We got everything and anything we ever wanted. What'd you think about that? Let me know that in the comment section below. Who were you rooting for in the elimination? Were you going for Jordan or Fessy? Were you going for Nelson or Bear? Who are you excited to see? And what do you think is going to happen with Big T and her toe injury? Do you think she's going to be able to keep on running into the challenge? Or do you think now that she's kind of weakened that people are going to view her as a layup and want to throw her into the next elimination and get their red skull? Let me know that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more challenge content, more brief histories, top 10s, top 5, Rushmores, all that good stuff. And join me on Thursdays for the Challenge Total Madness review and recap, and join me on Fridays for Tiny Table Talk for the Challenge Season 35 Total Madness. But until then, peace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Whoa.